It's not often I say this, and I hate to say it, but I was wrong. Not recently, but I was wrong. What was I wrong about? Well, when Apple Silicon first came out, I said it was going to be a once-in-a-generation thing. I didn't realise then, I don't think any of us realised then, just how quickly Apple Silicon was going to iterate. Wind it on a few years and look, now we've got this, the MacBook Neo. When the Neo came out in March of this year, it was flying off the shelves. For a time, Apple couldn't keep up with demand. It surprised them just how popular it was. It was the buzzword. Everybody was talking about a Neo. I remember being in London, working at a cafe, I think it was, and a waiter came up to me, just wanted to touch and hold it. He'd been trying to get his hands on one, and he couldn't find one anywhere. That is what Apple Silicon has done. That's the way it's changed our lives and how we can carry around a Mac that is suitable for everyone. And that's part of the charm of the MacBook Neo. It suits so many people. It's not just for high-end creatives. It's not the kind of Mac you have to spend a fortune on. It's there to be picked up and used. It's now my go-to Mac. Out of all the Macs I've got, it's the MacBook Neo that I use the most. Certainly when I'm traveling, that's the Mac that comes with me. Now, the early part of this year, I was really getting into using the iPad Pro. I thought that was the device that was going to travel with me. But that quickly changed when the Neo came along. And there's a couple of reasons for that, and I can only give you the reasons that apply to myself and the way I work. Generally, I'm in London shooting. It could be hybrid shooting, so I could be shooting video and photos. When I've got the MacBook Neo with me, all I need to do is take an SD card reader with me, and then I can check that the video I'm shooting is correctly framed, it's in good colour, it's exactly what I want, it's in focus, all the basics, so I don't get home and realise I've had a wasted day. It's much harder to do that on the iPad because I don't use Final Cut on iPad. It's much easier to do it. You can even just open QuickTime and see it on the Mac. And also, if I'm shooting photos, again with the SD card reader, I can take all the photos off from, say, the morning shoot, get them on the Mac, so at least they're backed up. So for me, the MacBook Neo just makes more sense. A friend phoned up this week. He needs to be sending out some CVs and he's just doing basic work. That's the first question I asked him. He said he needed a Mac. What should I buy? What are you doing? Well, it's just basic Excel stuff, Word stuff, emailing, surfing, that kind of stuff. And up is Neo all day long. He's already got a monitor. He's got a mouse if he needs it. But I said, get the Neo. It's the perfect Mac for you. And it's a great price still. That's the thing. I'm going to be coming to price a little bit later on. Part of there's a real charm to using a MacBook Neo, and that's what's going to make it one of those Macs that we look back on and think, I had a Neo. You know the way when the first iMacs came out in those crazy colours? This is going to be the same kind of Mac. It's just got character. And it's hard to explain, but I know from previous videos, and I've said that you understand what I mean. If I'd dropped a Mac and scratched any other Mac, not that I want to do it, it just happened because I was out using it. And that's the thing, that's the way I test tech for you now. I go out and use it. Rarely do I do this sitting in the studio, but I just had this short video in my head and I just wanted to chat with you about it today. But generally I'm out in London using it, and that gives me a real test of what it's like to genuinely use. So if you go and spend your hard-earned money on it, I can tell you honestly what it's like to use. Now, because I take it out and I use it, unfortunately it dropped. It's got a little mark in it, a little ding in it. Any other Mac, I would have been mortified. I would have been horrified. But on this Mac, all it's done, somehow, is add to its character. It was a bit of genius from the outgoing CEO, Tim Cook. The idea of using binned iPhone 16 Pro chips in a Mac. None of us really understood how powerful an iPhone chip could be. Still, something I don't understand is how we can have a bin chip that runs a laptop, so it's got one less GPU core, whereas the phone needs the full beans. I don't fully understand that. Please explain it to me. But the fact that they were able to take chips they clearly had lying around in their inventory, use them, go to the R&D team and say, right, we need a Mac that can use these chips, and that's what's kept the price down. And also, now, the lead time is back down to something being reasonable as well. I was looking this week, and you can pick up a Neo in around about 7 to 10 days. Recently, you'll be aware, because of the demands of AI, that the prices of RAM and storage are going through the roof. Absolutely gone crazy. I was writing something this week, and I think some NVMe storage I bought in January of 25 and I spent £299 for, is now just under £550, I seem to remember. It's nearly doubled. It's nearly doubled in 18 months. It is scary. And because of those price increases, even Apple couldn't absorb the price increase. Now, we know that they've got a very generous profit margin, and if they can't absorb the price increases with their profit margins, don't forget they've got the picker suppliers, they can demand more or less what price they want to pay per unit. If they can't absorb the price, it shows you how serious these price increases are going to be and how serious the demand on RAM and storage genuinely is. the prices went up across the board on virtually all Apple devices. The M3 Max Max Studio, I think went up £500. The Vision Pro, if you remember that went up a couple of £100. HomePods went up, iPad Airs, iPad Pros, Mac Mini, pretty much everything went up apart from iPhones. I'll explain about the iPhones in just a minute. But with regards to the MacBook Neo, the 250, well, both models went up by £100. That means that the 256 went up from £599 to £699, and the 512 gig model went up from $699 to $799. But that still represents fantastic value for money when you think what you can do with the MacBook Neo. And to give you an idea of just how good it is, I looked at the MacBook Air. Well, that starts at £1,299. Yeah, so it starts at £500 more than the Neo. Yeah, before I read the comments, yes, I know the MacBook Air is technically a better Mac. It's got active cooling, it's got a better chip, and yes, it is faster. But when you look at the kind of work that generally people will be doing on an Air or on a Neo, it's very similar. And if you can do the same amount of work that you'd be doing on a MacBook Air for £500 less, I think that represents great value for money. Now, I was talking about the iPhone not having had a price increase yet, and I think it's quite obvious as to why. And also, I think there's a little cunning sign that Apple knew this shortage was coming along way before anybody else did. And don't forget, I was at CES in January, and it was kind of murmured that there might be a shortage, but nobody thought it was going to be as serious as it's turned out to be, and hit as quickly and as hard as it's turned out to be. But back to the iPhones, Apple have gone for this split strategy now for iPhones. So we understand the iPhone Ultra, if that's what the foldable is going to be called, and the Pro and Pro Max, they'll be coming out in September. And almost certainly the Pro and Pro Max will see a price increase. And at the moment, the Ultra is rumoured to be around about £2,000, £2,100. There's plenty of time between now and September for that price to increase before that phone comes out. And what bad timing is it that Apple have waited all this time and spent all this effort bringing out a foldable just when there's a storage and RAM price concern and supply concern that could affect that foldable phone. But what they've done to safeguard that, I think, with this split strategy, whereby now we get the premium phones in September and then the following spring we get the 18, 18E and the Air 2, that's given them 6 months of breathing time. 6 months to be able to replenish the stocks of storage and RAM. I think Apple's genius is the kind of thing we don't see, or it doesn't get written or talked about too often, but I think that's been going on in the backgrounds. It was another unprecedented move this week when Apple took their site down in the middle of the year to make price increases. I've never known that. They generally wait for new models to come along before any price increases happen. But these price increases, because they're so broad and across the whole range, they took their site down during the middle of a model year, during the middle of a commercial year, a financial year, and increased prices considerably. And who's to say that in the future we won't see this happening again, maybe once or even twice a year? I was speaking to one of the NAS suppliers at a trade show I was at this year, and they're fearing that this shortage could go on until late 27 at the best. At the best. And even then, that's not going to mean prices are going to begin tumbling back down again. We are paying a price for AI. The consumers are the ones paying the price because we're not going to be able to get our hands on products, and if we can get our hands on products, they're going to be more expensive. And as a last thought, you've got to feel for John Ternus, haven't you? He's taking over just as this really critical situation takes a grip. And it is serious, it really is. It's affected gaming machines, it's affected PCs, it's affected us with Macs and iPads. It is serious and it's only going to get worse. So normally, oftentimes at the end of these videos, people will be saying to me, do you think I should wait for the new MacBook? Don't wait. If you need a Mac, go and buy it now, because the sad truth is that prices are only going to go one direction. We're in the middle of something really, really worrying right now. So my advice to you is go and grab a MacBook Neo. They are great Macs. You can get them without much delay now. Go and get that 256 model and fill your boots with work. It's a great Mac and I've loved using it every single day I've had it. But this storage war, it's real.